Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm your favorite girl, Diva, and I hope my wig is on good because I just threw this whole on. If you are new to my channel, you're most definitely welcome. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe before we go any further into this video. It does help me out a lot. If you're not new and you're a day one, stay one, hey boo. But if you're new, back to you. Please like, please subscribe. It helps me out, So we are reviewing season 14 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, episode 3, The Tea is Served. So we start this episode off with Kenya, who is meeting up with her event planner, and she asks her what's the budget, and Kenya goes into, well, you know, my husband, now ex-husband, I don't think he's gonna be putting into the, girl, get on with it, what's the budget? And I know as a professional you have to sit there and listen, but why does she just go off into a tangent about how he's probably not gonna help her pay, and then continues on into 10 to 15,000 would be fine. Girl, like I really can't get past that. I was just sitting there like, why is she telling this lady all of her business? Like she cares, like she can actually help her. She's an event planner, not a lawyer. But we're gonna move on from that. We meet up with Sheree, and Sheree's at the gym actually working out, unlike Drew. And you got see her sweat. She's not wearing no makeup, still looks beat. Marlo walks in, and she's supposed to work out. You know Marlo is not working out. She just came in to get face and get her scene in. So I really hope that most of her story is not based on her boys, because she goes and asks Sheree, let me cut his sand on a little piece. She goes and she asks Sheree how she's done it, because she is a single mom and she has raised boys, or a boy, I think. I don't know how many kids Sheree got, but I know she had a boy, and one of them is fine. So that being Cairo. So they move on from that and they get into a conversation about Drew. How Drew and Drew's assistant is like talking behind everybody's back. Well, pretty much Sheree's back, saying how Sheree don't pay. And Sheree said, well, you know, Kenya told me that too. And Candy told Kenya that. Kenya told Marlo that. Or either Marlo told Kenya, or either Kenya told Marlo or Candy told Marlo what has been going on. Drew's assistant, who is also maybe or may not be Sheree's assistant, is telling people that Sheree did not pay him, and she doesn't like to pay people. He also knows a vendor that Sheree allegedly didn't pay. So Sheree's not liking this, and she wants to find out what's going on. The next event that's going to be had is Brooklyn's Tea Party. Not a good place. Not a good place to have that conversation. But we're going to go on and get to that when we get to that. So the next scene is Candy, and she is doing so good with her acting career. Her acting career is kind of taking off. So she has a Broadway play coming up. She's on the phone with, I believe, her agent, and Todd walks in and puts his head, which I thought was like so wild. Like, he didn't knock on the door or nothing. She was in her office on an actual meeting, and he puts his head in the camera, and the guy goes, I believe it was her agent, he goes, oh, hello. And from that, they go into how her acting career is going great, but her marriage and her love life, her sex life, and her home life is just really not booming like her career is. So they go into how, for probably more than what we actually seen, about how Todd is feeling kind of left out and things like that. Pretty much some of the same stuff that I said in the past episode. And he says that he's fine not getting the credit, but everything that it seems that they do, Candy gets most of the credit, especially with him doing most of the work. So he does feel left out. With that being said, why are you guys talking about this right now while she's on the meeting? The agent was literally still on the line, and he interjected and was like, I think we're getting a little off course. A little bit, a lot of it. Y'all was a lot of it off course. So I honestly feel like if Candy quits one of the 50-11 jobs that she feels like she needs, probably 3. Quit at least 3 jobs. Like, you got bedroom Candy. You're on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I feel like acting would just be enough. Like, I feel like just use, you don't even need 3 jobs. Like, Bedroom Candy is booming, I'm sure. She has YouTube booming. I think you can live to let some things go. But I do think it was really cool how she sent out influencers some boxes and some packages. I seen Kempire post his. I believe Bondi Blue probably got one too. But I thought that was really cool of her. Especially, I feel like she's the only one that really be online like that and knows her audience of pretty much somewhat. At least she knows and watches the people that be reviewing her shows, like Candy and the Gang, and I feel like there was another show, but for the most part, Candy and the Gang. So we get to Drew, and her assistant are shopping. Her assistant, which is also the assistant that Sheree may or may not have. Drew and her assistant are shopping for baby Brooklyn's birthday party. It's her 3rd birthday party, so I think it was cute that she was in a bookstore and not getting no toys that Kenya could trip over somehow. It was nice that she was getting her some books. So I don't know if the assistant, I don't even know his name, so we're just gonna keep calling him the assistant. I don't know if he was being extra because the cameras is there, or is that who he really is. But honey, he's really annoying. Like, I just need him to simmer down a little bit. If that's who he is, okay. But I feel like he's zhuzhing it up for the cameras. And he's spilling too much tea. And that's not going to look like, say you're trying to work with somebody else. Say it doesn't work out for you with Drew. How are you going to work with somebody else? And they clearly see you, especially if they watch this show, which a lot of people do, spilling tea of the people that either you worked with or have worked with. Make it make sense. So he's saying how Sheree didn't pay her bills, and she didn't pay one of his vendor friends, and da 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 da. But while they're talking about that, Sonya calls Drew, borderline crying. I couldn't really tell because I swear I saw her crack a smile when the camera cut out. But she's saying how she was pulling or making a right turn, and an 18-wheeler kind of hit her car and dragged her down the street a little bit, but her car didn't look that bad, so that's neither here nor there. Drew was like, oh my gosh, do you want me to come and get you, which is kind of a sign of a good friend. So, but I really can't say that about Drew because she be lying all up and through, and she's just a weirdo. She's a ditzy B word, just like Sheree said. She's very much a ditzy B. So the assistant and Drew drive to where Sonya is, and Sonya's on the side of the road, and they literally show her car, and it looks, to me, it doesn't look like nothing really major happened. But she could have called Ross, but Ross is out of town. They started a chauffeur business back in Texas where they used to live, and this just happened to be the weekend that he was out of town, unfortunately. So sorry y'all. I don't even know why my notifications is on if my phone is silenced. Like, I have my notifications turned off at a certain time, so I'm not really sure why that happened. So moving on, I apologize. She gets Sonya, and Sonya's like, we gotta go pick up Deuce, which is her son. So they go and pick up Deuce, and it goes to the next scene. So I'm sure it's like a couple days later, because now Ross is home and they're having a conversation about the car accident, and Ross is saying how he was going crazy because she called him crying and he didn't really know what was going on, especially with him being far away. I know it had to be a time, especially him being so far away, and he couldn't really do anything to help the situation. So we are finally at Kenya, the big event. Like, this is where it all goes down, the big down, the showdown, shakedown. So this is Brooklyn's 3rd birthday party, the tea party. So everybody is like an hour or more late. Sheree shows up first though. Well, she don't have a kid, so she don't have no reason to be late, but everybody was late. Candy shows up last, and she's walking in with both of her kids, and everybody's like standing at the door, and she's facing the door, and she's like, why is everybody facing the door? And they're like, because Brooklyn, girl, get in. Why do you think everybody's facing the door? Why else would everybody be facing the door? Either we're about to look at something, or someone's about to come in, or you know how on My Sweet 16 everybody is facing towards the door so the prize can be presented. Why do you think? Like, use your brain. But she gets in line. Brooklyn comes in looking every bit like Mark. Like, she looked like her daddy. She looked like her daddy. So Kenya shows everyone where the kids is gonna be at, and she shows them where they're gonna have their little luncheon at, the adult luncheon. So while I noticed, I feel like Kenya made this a messy tea party on purpose. I swear she did. And why you would want this much mess kept up at your baby party, I'm not really sure. Like, what was the logic? I don't know. I'm not understanding, nor am I grasping the concept. Let me know down in the comments, because okay. They had some party games. She was doing like some trivia. She asked, I think, about 3 questions. What was Brooklyn's first word? Which, why would anybody know that? What's Brooklyn's middle name? And at what age did she start walking? Like, those are things that you as Brooklyn's mom should know. Why would your acquaintances know that? I'm just sitting there like, child, I would have been making up answers, because that's, why would we know that? Anyways, she brings in the next game, which is you spill some tea. Like, you write some, it's supposed to be fun tea. Write some tea down on a card, and they're going to put it all in a box, and people are going to pick out and read what it says. So Monyetta Shaw, or Monyetta, whoever she is, Theo's ex-wife or something like that, shows up in this episode, and somebody directed a shady card towards her and wanted her to spill her tea. They said she claims to be all natural, but everybody knows she had a couple surgeries. And she stands up and say, to the person that wrote that card, I wrote in my book that I got my breasts done, if you read it. But thanks. Candy pulls out her card, and it says everybody knows that Candy was sucking dick in the locker room or something like that. Candy was pretty pressed about that, and she was looking around like, okay, who wrote this? And nobody said it. I swear it was Kenya who wrote that, just to stir up the mess. But nobody admitted it. Nobody admitted it. I don't even know who wrote Monyetta's. So maybe it was right that, I don't know. I really wanted to know who said it too, but everybody was looking low-key guilty. They was like this, like, cat got your tongue all of a sudden. So they go to Le Archive, which Marlo gave a good answer for that. She was like, they said something about how they went to the website and they didn't really see anything. And she was like, well, if you go to my website, you fill out a form and we'll let you know whether or not we want to work with you. So she already, I feel like she done said it 3 times. This is the 3rd episode. She's probably said it more than 3 times. She is trying to promote her business and her fashions to people of a higher echelons. People in the business. Nobody in here except probably Candy. Definitely not Drew. Maybe Monyetta. Maybe Sonya be going to some events. And probably Kenya. But I don't even know if they even much afford the J-Lo dress. Like, who knows? So Sheree pulls out her card, and it's saying about, I heard you don't pay your assistants. And obviously we know that Drew wrote the card, because she the one that started speaking up. And then from that, they go at it. They get into an argument, and it was just downhill. It was downhill from there. One of Kenya's white friends gets up from the table and goes, there's kids here. There's kids here. Like, my kids are here. This is embarrassing. And Marlo is me. Like, girl, you could go. Like, your kids is way over there with everybody else's kids, obviously playing, not worrying about nothing that's going on over here. One lady, there was another white lady sitting next to Marlo with her baby, not even a baby. It looked like it was 6-year-old child in her lap, just getting all the tea, eating it up. And the lady slapping fight with Marlo, talking about that's just how it is. I was really confused as to why that lady got up like that. Like, honestly, I'm not even sure why they were sitting at the table. They could have been sitting at their own table. Why were they in the mix of what y'all had going on in the first place? So, long story short, Sheree and Drew go at it. Sheree's friend chimes in and says that the assistant also said that your husband may or may not be gay. And you could tell that Drew was ready to choke that lady, jump up, and she was like, you need to stop talking. You need to stop talking. That's giving one to me. You need to stop talking right now before I pop you in your mouth. I'm giving you a warning. So Drew was kind of getting upset, and they were saying how the difference between what you did and what Sheree's friend did. Sheree didn't go around telling everybody. You are telling everybody. You telling everybody but Sheree. Like, why aren't you telling Sheree? The issue was with Sheree. I feel like, I don't know what is going on with Drew, but she literally is so dizzy. Like, she doesn't understand really much of anything. She doesn't get how her husband is a narcissist. Like, she's just so frustrating to be around. Like, she's frustrating to watch. And I don't know. Like, I do not see it for Drew. I really don't see it for Drew. And I'm sorry for it. I'm really not sorry, but I just don't see it for Drew. So that really wraps up this episode. On the way out, they still fight some more. And Marlo's giving a speech. And Drew is interjecting, making shots at Sheree. And her doing all of this is making Sheree like want to get bucked. Like, now you coming into my personal space. Now I'm on 10. Like, I'm on defense. So they was like, girl, you better stop bothering Sheree. You ain't never heard she got a mean right hook? And Drew was trying to play it off like, oh girl, whatever, I got a mean everything. So put them in the ring. Just how like Black China and whatever that girl name is, put Sheree and Drew in the ring so I can see I know 100% Sheree would box her down. Like, no questions asked. No questions asked. Like, that was the end of the episode. Like, they were arguing on the way out of the door. So that was the end. That wraps up episode 3. The tea is served of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I will see you guys next week for episode 4, and I can't wait to review it. Also, stay tuned. Tomorrow I will be watching Basketball Wives because that is coming back. I'm so excited for that. Basketball Wives on Monday, Real Housewives on Sunday. It's gonna be lit. This summer it's gonna be lit. So that'll be up on Tuesday. This video will be up on Monday. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate each and every one of you, especially if you stayed to the end. If you did stay to the end, leave me a pineapple down below. I would really appreciate it. Don't forget to like this video, and if you're not subscribed, get subscribed, and I'll see you in my next one. But until then, I miss you guys already. Bye.